Da, 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 da. I haven't done one of these in a while, have I? Seem to be doing them less and less. Has Fez Night run its course? Well, at least they're a lot shorter lately, thanks to old blubber jowls. Yeah, I'm sure some of you are really grateful. Um, yeah, I took some notes. Let me get the lighting just right here. Too much reflection in my glasses. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm working my way through the candy that Bobo McGraw sent me. He sent me 2 bags of this. I already finished 1 bag. And these are really good. These are really addictive. They have a hard candy shell. There's like a chewy, the next layer is like chewy. And then in the middle, there's like that sour like powder that you see on a lot of candy now in the center. Really good. I also like these cola flavored belts. They're called Frutella cola lime flavor belts. So I just want to say that I'm working through it. I'm trying to pace myself. When I first got them, I was like, I was eating so much candy. I had a sugar hangover the next day. Yeah, I had the munchies too. I'm quitting again. Last time I went 39 days. We'll see how long I go this time. I'm on day 3 right now. All right. I was walking around with the thing in my hand. Oh, here it is. All right, time to don the fez. Oh, hey, I got a haircut. Why do I laugh at things I say? I don't know. It's just nervous laughter. Yeah, I get very worked up before I go on camera. I still do. Just kidding. Time to don the fez. Oh, by the way, okay, what was it? I left a comment somewhere. Oh, America's Most Whiniest. Sweet Old Man was over there. No, I don't really know Sweet Old Man that well. I just see him around. Somewhere I got the feeling he doesn't think too much of me, but that's fine. There's a lot of people that don't think much of me. But he took a little poke at me about wearing silly hats. One of these days I should show you my hat collection, but so far you've seen my boater, the straw hat, my pith helmet, and my fezzes. I used to have 3, now I just have 2. And I said it's all about that I wear silly hats, and I said, well, it's all about not taking oneself too seriously. And then I noticed that his new icon, he's wearing a Viking helmet. Which is sillier than a fez, huh? Viking helmet with the horns. Interesting fact is you'll see it in the movies and such, but the Vikings, when they were doing battle, did not use the helmet with the horns. They used just a plain metal helmet. That the one with the horns is like decorative or ceremonial. It's not one that they wore in battle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that. I did a report on the Vikings once. And another interesting fact. Should I just put the fez on? Greetings, fellow citizens. This is citizenkong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Which, by the way, Fez Night has not actually been recorded on a night in a very long time. I used to do it back in the day on Sunday night, which just was really weird because I would be getting fairly buzzed because I always had like a martini, sometimes Kahlua. I'd make a White Russian. Rum and Coke was the other favorite, and I would be, and I was limited to the amount of time again, and I would talk really long and cut Fez Night into pieces, and man, I would just be like trying to cut it up into pieces. I wouldn't cut anything out, but I would cut it up into pieces, part 1, part 2, and I'd just be out of it. and I'd have to go to work the next day. But that was Fez Night for a very long time. Actually, I'm recording this. It's Sunday, 1:15 California time. Greeting. Oh, time to don the fez. Am I really going to do it this time? All right. Time to don the fez. You know, I forgot to check and see whether this title was already taken, but it may not be. Hopefully. I can kind of do one eyebrow, see? Time to don the fez. Greetings, fellow citizens. This is Citizen Kong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Tonight's Fez Night shall be called There Once Was a Fez. I just want to, first of all, yeah, a serious matter, and I will doff my fez for that, is Nana passed away, Barfly's grandmother, and it's sad. It's sad when somebody passes away, somebody that you love. For the longest time, when I was unemployed, you know, I'd go for a walk, I would call somebody and talk to him. I'd talk to Eileen a lot, I would talk to Monk and Stan. I used to talk to Bonnie until she, I don't know, for some reason she just really started hating on me. Why would anybody hate on me? And I would call Scott's house, Barfly Brooks, and he wouldn't be there, and Anna would pick up the phone. And Anna and I would have some really long conversations, and she would tell me stuff about when she was a little girl in the Depression, during the Depression, and I guess, you know, I'd ask her stuff, and just a really sweet lady. Just anyway. Goodbye, Nana. Now it's kind of hard to go on, isn't it? I'm sure Nana would not want us to be all sad and crying and all. You know, life goes on. I'm going to don the fez again. Okay, so I want to say hi to Hydroponic, Kid Blood, and Real Man. What was it, last Sunday? I have the Skype app on my phone, which, by the way, I got this iPhone for like $19, okay, in case anybody is saying, whoa, you know, Citizen Kong, you know, bought an iPhone. You know, the thing that's really killing me, it was used, and I got it when my contract was up, and actually I was going a couple of years without a contract, and the thing is, though, I have to pay extra for the phone thing. Anyway, I have an app for my iPhone, Skype, and I was dicking around or something, and I turned the app on, and boom, I got Hydroponics saw I was on. So then later I switched to my laptop, and I went into, I guess you would call their chat room or whatever, their group speak, and Kid Blood was there. Oh, later, Gray Realities. Hey, Gray Realities. The four of us were in there talking for a while, and it was cool. I look forward to doing that again sometime. Last night I made the mistake of going on Imitator 777. Imitator 777 was, you know, and I've mentioned this lots of times, when I first came on YouTube, I mostly talked exclusively about politics, or it was more like a kind of, you know, which I do a lot on Fez Night. But the videos were targeted at Bush, or my very first video was on Michael Savage, the radio talk shows. I guess you would call him a conservative radio talk show host. Or just whack job. There are times when I do agree with him. Actually, I love it when he talks about food. I never have a problem when he talks about food. You know, apparently he's somebody that enjoys dining out. So Imitator 77 actually was one of those people that was an antagonist, somebody I used to quarrel with in the very beginning. And since then we've become friends. And I still go, oh. I still go over to his channel and watch his videos. And but every time I go and leave a comment on a Michael Savage video, I can't. I just have to say what I think. And the fans of Michael Savage, they're very, I mean, there's some lively discussion going on there. And sometimes I see people there that I agree with, and sometimes I see people I disagree with that are actually make valid arguments. But most of the time, I deal with that sort of nut job that goes in and just because I disagree with them say that I have zero intellect, that I need to get an education, and et cetera, et cetera. And I always say that when you resort to name calling, you've already lost the argument, unless it's a put down contest or something like that. Who can think of the most insulting thing to say? I never approach any of that way until in the beginning. I don't. In a political discussion, I really, really try not to, or any kind of debate, real debate, unless it's some sort of like YouTube war or something. And I try not to sink to that level, but I've been guilty of that plenty of times. But this one guy is particularly, it's just like this. Michael Savage did a video about Joan Rivers making a very, very untasteful joke involving Nazis, Germans, and Jews being pushed into ovens. And she's awful. I've never really liked Joan Rivers. I don't think I ever liked her at all. And in fact, I've become to dislike her more and more. But you get these people that are just so like pro-Christian, and they insist that the United States is a Christian religion, and they refuse to recognize the separation of church and state because it doesn't say specifically, separation of church and state in the Constitution. But you have to look at it the context of the time, and Jefferson talked about separation of church and state. The First Amendment says that the U.S., there's basically that the U.S. will not, the government will not recognize any specific religion and will not use religion as a test, for office or something like that. I don't have the First Amendment memorized. It also deals with free speech. The idea is that our founders did not want to be like Europe, did not want to be influenced or take orders from the Vatican or the Anglican, is it the Anglican Church? Whatever, the church that Henry VIII started. Anglican? Anglican. I believe it's the Anglican Church. And so, and he's the one calling me an idiot, refusing to recognize the value of church and state and what our forefathers meant, I mean, and then bashing the Muslims for the very same things that we're against. I mean, Muslims believe in a theocracy meaning a government that is religious based, and yet here he is talking about how we should have a Christian based government. I believe that's what he was saying. He was saying, these yuppies and baby boomers are flushing Christianity down the toilet. Well, the whole thing is that, look, I consider myself a Christian. I have a belief system that goes along Judeo-Christian lines. I'm not a perfect person, I sin all the time, but I try to be. Yeah, none of us are perfect, but I've come to a point where I can't argue that one religion is more important than another. That's the whole thing. That's the thing that made me turn away from the church. Anyway, I don't even have a cup. Boy, this is a really crappy Fez night. Anyway, I got to wind it up. Thank you for watching There Once Was a Fez. Cheers.